Here's a big pile of reclaimed timbers. A lot of people think, and I've been asked this, that because it's reclaimed, isn't that cheaper? Whew, nothing could be farther from the truth. Let's unpack this for you. Why is reclaimed up to 5 times more expensive? So number one, it has to be torn down. Labor. Somebody's got to tear it down. Somebody has to also find the nails, pull the nails, see bolt holes. And invariably, when the timbers are getting sawn up, not all the metal can be removed, so it's costing saw blades. Before it even goes to the mill, somebody has to inventory the stuff. Forklift, material handling, it's a real deal. There's real costs associated with it. Real estate costs money. You gotta house it, warehouse it. Somebody has to do a lot of thinking to measure it, inventory it. All that takes a lot of money. And now, let's just say that you want a piece of reclaimed wood that's let's say an 8 by 16. 8 by 16 is gonna be somewhere in here. The sawyer is gonna look at it and figure out what is gonna work the best. But there's a lot of drop. What do you do with these side pieces? Well, if you have an immediate home for it, great. Winner, chicken dinner. There's use for all of that. But if you have to now take a new piece and inventory that and store that, well, that's more time and more thinking. And hey, thinking costs money. It takes work. Also with reclaimed, see the tight grain here? Generally with reclaimed, you get a much higher quality of wood. It's just been older wood and it's not gonna shrink anymore. It's done twisting. So whatever you do with it, the joints are gonna be really tight. And for someone who is really detail oriented, it maybe doesn't want a rustic atmosphere where we got checks and things kind of opening up and that sort of thing, that might be the cat's meow. It will cost more. So if you really want to ramp up your investment in your timber frame and have something that's really cool, some people opt to leave the metal in. They leave the paint on, whatever paint. Maybe they sandblast some of it. Or they use all 3 sides, or 4 sides as original. Sometimes if there's parts that go up against a wall or a roof, you can saw one side with a fresh cut. But otherwise, then everything will be from way back in this warehouse where it was, really have a cool look. But you have to fight for getting the right size because nothing can be resawn. Make sense? So you're going to be talking to a lot of suppliers and getting these pieces in that, man, if you screw those up, you're going to be hurting for certain because you have to now source another piece. So it adds more labor in the process because you have to be so careful to make sure that you do not mess that piece up. There's some real consequences with it. So if you're looking to set a record for cost per board foot for your timber investment, that would be my best recommendation on how to go about it. Cool look, could be a lot of fun, and hey, sometimes these things that really just go, when you really put a lot into it, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it costs a ton of money, but hey, it's here forever, and man, it turned out great. It's kind of the essence of what drives the timber industry anyway, but the timber frame industry. Beyond that, it's got history. A lot of times it comes from old warehouses, old industrial buildings. This here is from the first fruit cold storage in Yakima. I was out there looking at it. They were tearing it down. Crazy how big the building was and how much wood was in the building. Unfortunately, these ones they didn't get much longer than 20 foot. So that provides a challenge. For this project that we have this here, we have to source some longer pieces elsewhere. And we're opting to go for fresh cuts on all the faces because the challenge of finding every piece is just gonna be too much, cost prohibitive. Okay, so just a little recap, the pros and cons of using reclaimed wood. The pros would be that all the twisting and shrinking, that's all done. And you can use that with the scribe fit timber frame, so it's really authentic and that's got a really nice look, a really unique look. Or you can resaw, straighten out the beam, and then it's straight. So the twisting and shrinkage is not going to be any sap, and there's history involved, and you are also helping preserve the environment because the wood is being reused and it's a carbon sink, not cutting down new trees, even though new trees are renewable, but still that's a benefit in its way. Beyond that, that's probably your biggest benefits there with using reclaim. Now the cons of using reclaimed is pretty much cost. It's just your investment. And if the investment doesn't scare you away, you've got a wide open opportunity to do some really remarkable stuff. Now, if you'd like to learn more about wood species, we've got a video, the best and worst species of woods to use for timber framing. And go check that out and subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. We'd appreciate it. Thank you.